Hello, this is Francisco Perez. I'm here at Pahua, Heiau. I, a descendant of Moikea from my mother's side, from her mother's side, and from her father's side, Keawe. Here at Pahua, Heiau. Pahua, Heiau, an agricultural temple built circa AD 1400, restored 84 to 85. This is the Heiau. And they have these kapu signs so that you don't investigate your ancient megalithic and Heiau temple sites. So if you look at the rocks, they've been weathered. You see the surfaces all broken up because when they came, they destroyed everything. And so a lot of what you see is newer structures, like things built in the newer time. And some of these are just additions on top of the megalithic structures, which will be seen underground right now. So if you look at the rocks, so if you see the rocks up here, this is the wall. So this would be like 1 tier, 2 tier. You gotta, but what you see is not what's here. Like a lot of it's buried. And the most amazing thing about this site, which they will not tell you, see, this before was a fish ponds. And these temples that I've shown you in these areas were the different fortress protecting those trade routes, okay? But the most amazing thing about this place, just like the other Heiau over here, is that this mountain may just look like a mountain, but this mountain, Heiau, is actually a temple and a cavern system. And this under here is a cavern system, and I'm sure there's leads to other areas over here, and also leads to burial grounds. So what we don't realize is our people come from the Hebrew culture, and the Hebrew culture buried our dead in caves. So not only is this part of the temple, but it's an underground cave system. And what they do is they dazzle you with the entrance, which most of it is buried underground. Most of the megalithic structure is buried underground. All that's left is these up here. But what you don't realize is that this whole mountain is part of the construction, which was a temple that overlooked the water system, the fish ponds, where priests resided. A lot of things spiritual happen here. And I'm sure that there are petroglyphs here. That's why they tell you do not go up, or the rocks falling rocks. Yet right here is a trail going up, and we all know that the cave entrances and other things of ceremonial is up on the top. There's another trail over there, and that's why there's a kapu sign, no trespassing. They want to make it illegal for you. That's why a lot of your burials, a lot of your structures are on government property and schools and all of these different things, so that you can't go and dig and find out your history. What I was saying was, I guarantee you there's petroglyphs here, because I don't know if you recall my other video, but that building way over there is sitting on a heiau that's much bigger than this. And that heiau has a water source that comes all the way to it from the ocean, and it's stated that that was the first fortress that controlled the waterways for commerce and trade. And over there has many petroglyphs, and they even have it written on a sign that it's there. But guess what? It's fenced in, and you cannot go in unless you're part of these mostly European and Asian 501c3 organizations making money, because us, the descendants of these people who built this, are not educated enough to claim and to build and fix our ancient sites, and at the very least preserve it. See, we've been perverted in our day-to-day lives, but all of us know in our hearts that this is what we want. That we want to be one with our culture. We want to be one with ourselves, and we want to take care of the land. And we hurt, and we wanna, we missing something, where we don't realize what that thing that we're missing. So you see the blocks. You'll get plenty red ants and centipedes, so just be careful where you see the trail. There's many trails, and it must have looked a lot different. These trails stood out more. See, that's why they put all this overbearing plants in between the acacia trees. Those are all acacia trees. In between them, they just stuffed it with whatever they could. And then this grass, all of these things, it just covered up everything. And people was allowed to buy property on the side of a sacred land. And that's the only way they found out that this thing was here. That they was building, and they was like, oh, look at this. See, there's another tier up there. I don't have long. It's gonna be dark soon. I'm gonna try and get as much as I can. So you see how it was like had a design to it. You see the platform. See how all of our houses is raised on above ground, and our temples and stuff, so that when a tsunami came, this would be protected. And like I said, there's a cave that goes from Iolani Palace, and it comes out over here, down over here by the shore, down by the shore out there. Let me get this down for Lex Wheel. Check that out. So you see the walls. See how it comes out. And we only see this, but in actuality, this encompassed this house, that house, and it came out over here where these big trees are. That's still part of the Heiau. That's why they have the signs blocking, because they don't want you to go back there and see what really is going on. Like how much of your ancient sites still here. And all we have to do is get our mind out of the gutter and start caring about our history and our culture. There should be a lot more people working with these groups. There should be a lot more of us starting these groups. In fact, that's my goal. That's one goal. You know, I wanna be implement a change, and that's why I make these videos. So what I suggest is you become an implement a change. You go out there and you do something, to educate your people and uplift your people. So you see how these big blocks are just all like broken up, all like sharp edges, nice flat surfaces, and just thrown everywhere and buried. This was during the destruction of the temples that these things happened in 1819. The only temples that was left the way it was the ones that was constructed during the time of the destruction of the temples in 1819, or was built by Kamehameha at the time. Yes, 1 second. So at the time of the destruction of the temples in 1819, all of these temples were destroyed, and whatever that wasn't destroyed was buried, because they don't want you to know the geometry, the mathematics that go into these structures can connect you to the cultures that are on the other parts of the world, where you have family, where you connect through ancestry to heritage. This is why they destroyed our heiaus, and they told us we had no written language. Yet the pictographs and the petroglyphs are our ancient language. It is part of a Hebrew culture that we spawned from. See, this is your culture. This is your ancestors. The spirit of your ancestors soak all this ground. This is Pahua Heiau. And I'd like to thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. Alright? So I want you guys all have a wonderful day or night. So you see that block right there? See that block? See how it is? So further examination of the building style has to be done. But unfortunately,